Hello everybody, this is Tutankamon. Welcome to another one of my benchmarking videos. In this video I'm going to benchmark the alpha version of Wolcen, a new top-down action RPG. This video is recorded on an external recorder at 60 frames per second, so what you will see in this video will be pure performance. I'm using my usual benchmarking system, Core i5-2500, overclocked to 4.8 GHz. There it is. The system has 16 GB of memory, and the graphics card is a single GTX 1070 made by KFA2. It is the EX model, running on the latest firmware, and it is also a little overclocked in order to reach 2 GHz of boost speed. Now for this benchmark I'm going to use Fraps frame rate gathering. We are going to see the result in this file and some analysis at the end of the video. Let me launch the game. Let's take a quick look at the graphics settings. Nothing too extravagant for now. We only have quality preset, low, medium, high and very high. I'm using the very high preset for this run. The interesting thing about this game is that it is running on CryEngine 3, and let's see how it performs. I did not change anything, my friend, but anyway, I'm not going to use motion blur because, you know, top down and motion blur are not really nice to watch, especially with the YouTube compression. I want you to pay attention what happens when the game loads. At first the CPU usage is maxed out for a few seconds, and it is trying to sort out whatever it is trying to sort. Look at the CPU usage. It is maxed out, the GPU at 34% and rising, and along with the GPU the frame rate also rises. This is very fun to watch. It cracks me up all the time. Anyway, I'm not going to start the benchmark just yet. I'm going to go to the Marley Forest waypoint. Let's give it 5 seconds, and that's it, my friend. I'm starting the benchmark. Okay, I believe we have enough benchmarking data. I reached here. Okay. As you saw, the game is quite heavy at some points. We do have an average of 56 frames per second, but you did see that there is a lot of frame skipping during the gameplay. I believe Fraps has caught all that. You can see that although the frame rate is quite decent, the frame times are all over the place, and I'm very certain that this has to do with the CPU usage. As you can see, although the game is very well threaded, CryEngine 3 games are always well threaded in terms of CPU usage, but even so, the 2500 has a huge problem maintaining a decent, a smooth gaming experience, and the GPU usage as a result does have huge dips throughout the run. The 1070 does not even go to its maximum, so this is another game that it will be very interesting to test on a better platform, a better CPU. CPU temps are okay. RAM usage at 4.8 gigabytes. The power of the card is around 80% with a lot of spikes, a lot of dips due to the extreme CPU limits. The problem is that the analysis will show a terrible result, I am sure of it. GPU temps are okay. The core clock is also okay, no problems, 2 GHz throughout the run. 2.9 gigabytes of video RAM usage. The game is very pretty, as you saw, but also it is very heavy, unfortunately, and we are talking about a heavily clocked Sandy Bridge here. So this, of course, it is in alpha still. I'm sure that the final version will be a lot better. Quite interesting game. Now we can see what the problem is with this game. A lot of variability for a top-down action RPG. This should not happen at all. It is not an open world game where the camera shifts all over the place, and we also have a huge stuttering on top of that. So instead of 76 frames per second, we are ending up with below 60 frames per second gaming experience, and this is exactly how the game felt like. We can see the visualization of the frame times. Aside from these huge spikes which Fraps caught, if I zoom in the frame times, you will see that we do have a lot of spikes in very short time periods, so it is not good for gaming. Thankfully, time spent beyond 16.7 milliseconds is not too much. Only 10% of the frames are affected, but all these frames were very evident on the screen due to the top-down nature of the game. The histogram of the frame times shows that things are not this game is indeed playable, but of course playable with extremely overclocked system. I tried playing this with my normal 4.3 gigahertz processor speed. You can play it, of course, but it is even slower and more laggish at some points. Anyway, the frame times again without comparisons. The frame rate itself is very decent. Of course, if you play with vertical sync, the game feels a little smoother, but when these dips occur, all hell breaks loose. That's why actually we did get a minimum frame rate such low in this run. It needs quite a lot of optimization, and the most evident, the greatest evidence of this is the very high variability and the very high stuttering. These need to go a lot lower. Of course, better CPU could probably help a lot here. Percentiles at 22.23 milliseconds also does not paint a very beautiful picture. Time spent beyond curve, very steep. There are some huge delays at some parts in this game, which is a shame. It is really a very nice game, and hopefully they will fix all that before it goes to market. Comparable frame rate overlaid with variability and stuttering. A lot of gaming experience, a lot of performance lost here, so this needs to be addressed. In any case, we have reached the end of another benchmarking video, my friends. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you will be okay until my next video. Take care.